So in beryllium chloride, because the beryllium atom has 2 electron domains around the central atom, because we don't consider the surrounding atom at all. For the shapes of the molecule, surrounding atoms are not important. Central atom is important. Central atom ke around how many electron domains are there? So we saw 2. If the 2 electron domains, and these 2 electron domains will be furthest apart only when they are on the 2 opposite side of the sphere. So this is the beryllium atom, a spherical beryllium atom. If one electron domain is here, the second electron domain has to be here. I cannot put anywhere else because anywhere else will be not the furthest possible apart. Okay, so which means that so electron domain geometry is linear. Okay, now I will draw the chlorine atom, surrounding atoms. Now, obviously, if the electron domains are here, the chlorine atom has to be here only. Okay, because that's a bonded, no? This is the bond between beryllium and chlorine. So if this is the electron domain over here, then the chlorine atom has to be here only. I cannot draw the chlorine atom here or here, anywhere else. Okay, so chlorine atom has to be where the electron domain is. So another chlorine atom will be here. So these are the 2 chlorine atoms, and this is the beryllium atom. So now I'm getting the molecular geometry. Okay, I'm getting the molecular geometry. So first I took the electron domain geometry where I'm only considering the electron domains around beryllium and I'm not considering the surrounding atoms at all. First I decide that how the electron domains will be positioned, because wherever the electron domains will be there, the surrounding atom will be there in that position. So if the electron domains, 2 electron domains are in these 2 positions, the 2 chlorine atoms also have to be in that position. So now I get the molecular geometry. So molecular geometry ke liye you need to take the surrounding atom also into consideration. Okay, for molecular geometry, you take surrounding atom also into consideration. Okay, so molecular geometry here is again linear because all the 3 atoms are in the same line. So the molecular geometry is also linear. So if the electron domain geometry is linear, molecular geometry here is also linear. Next thing you need to decide is the bond angle. Bond angle of Cl, Be, Cl. So Cl, Be, Cl bond angle, as you can see here, it is 180 degree because it's a linear. So the bond angle has to be 180 degree. Okay. So that's how I decide the shape of the molecule. So like BeCl2, any other molecule where the central atom has only 2 electron domains, then the electron domain geometry will be linear, molecular geometry will also be linear, bond angle will be 180. Okay, so these are the details fixed for any example, any other molecule in which the central atom has only 2 electrons. Anybody has any questions?
No, sir.
So what was the molecular geometry?
Geometry of the molecule.
No, but how do you decide that?
What is the shape of this molecule?
Spherical.
The shape of the molecule is spherical.
No, like you mean the electron domain geometry.
Electron domain geometry is linear. Here is one electron domain, one here another electron domain. So that is linear. These 2 electron domains are linear. I'm talking about molecular geometry. Molecular geometry, I'll take chlorine atom, beryllium atom, and the chlorine atom. So how these 3 atoms are positioned? Aren't they linear in one line?
Yeah.
So how is that spherical?
Okay.
Another example is carbon dioxide. So as I said, at first you should draw the Lewis structure. Without Lewis structure, Nothing can be decided. So once you draw the Lewis structure, you'll only look at the central atom. So central atom is carbon here. So how many electron domains carbon atom has around it?
2, right?
2.
2. This one electron domain and this one electron domain. Even though it's a double bond, I'll count it as one electron domain. Okay, so electron domain geometry, linear. Molecular geometry, linear. And the bond angle, 180 degree. Same statistics as the BeCl2. Whenever you have 2 electron domains, it will be the same scenario. Okay, anybody has any questions before we go ahead? Okay, next case we will take is of the 3 electron domains, which is BF3. Okay, so BF3 ka first of all Lewis structure. That's BF3 Lewis structure. So how many electron domains around the central atom?
3.
3.
Remember that you need to only take
Three.
into consideration the electron domains around central atom. Ignore the surrounding atoms. Only around the central atom. Okay. So if there are 3 electron domains around boron atom,
So I have a question.
wait. If there are 3 electron domains around the boron atom, how can I keep those 3 electron domains around boron atom so that they are furthest possible apart? So the only way that I can keep them is one here, the second here, and the third here. Anybody has any other suggestion in which they're further apart than what I have drawn here? Yes, anyone?
No, sir.
So the 3 electron domains will be kept in this way only. So the electron domain geometry, so 3 electron domains will be kept always in this. Electron domain geometry, it's a triangular planar. Okay, now the molecular geometry. For molecular geometry, I need to write the surrounding atoms. So of course, the 3 fluorine atoms, surrounding fluorine atoms will come where the 3 electron domains are. So fluorine atom will come here, second fluorine atom here, and the third fluorine atom here. And this is boron. So molecular geometry is also triangular planar. Now the bond angle. For bond angle, you will take FBF bond. Okay, you will consider the FBF bond. Okay, so here fluorine, boron, fluorine, this angle. So how much is this angle?
120 degree.
120 degree. So bond angle here is 120 degree.
So how do you know where to take the bond angle from?
Where else can you take from? What is the other suggestion that you have?
You can take the whole F and F.
F and F, is that the angle Are they connected? Are they connected to each other? So do they have a bond between them?
No.
So how can there be a bond angle?
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you have 3 electron domains, the electron domain geometry triangular planar, molecular geometry triangular planar, bond angle 120. Okay, anybody, any questions? Yeah.
Bond angles stay constant, right? They don't change.
3 electron domains, so if it's dividing 3 parts, so 360 ka 1/3 will be 120 only. Yeah. Okay. Now we'll take another example. SO2. Lewis structure first. Without Lewis structure, don't decide. Don't decide anything without Lewis structure, because Lewis structure will tell you the details of how many electron domains, how many bonded, how many lone, all that. So sulfur dioxide ka Lewis structure is this. Yeah, this is the Lewis structure of sulfur dioxide. All right, so how many electron domains around sulfur?
3.
3. But what is the difference between the sulfur dioxide case and the BF3 case? In the sulfur dioxide case, there are 3 electron domains, 1, 2, and 3. Here also there are 3 electron domains, 1, 2, and 3. But the difference is that isme 3 electron domains mein all 3 are bonded. Do you notice that? There is a bond between the B and F, bond between B and F, bond between B and F. Here there is a bond between SO and SO, but this is not a bond. Okay, this is a lone pair of electrons. Understand that? Boron ke around there are 3 fluorines, 3 atoms around it. Sulfur ke around there are only 2 oxygen. The third electron domain does not have any atom here. Anybody has any problem in understanding this?
No, sir.
So here in this case, yes, there are 3 electron domains, but 3 electron domains may say only 2 are bonded and 1 is lone. 2 are bonded and 1 is lone. Okay. Now in this case, let's see how the shape of the molecule and shape of the electron domain geometry will be.
So,
Yeah.
why does boron not have an octet?
Oh, you don't need to get into that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is sulfur, and there are 3 electron domains around sulfur. So 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay, so that's sulfur. So electron domain geometry will be triangular planar. Okay, because there are 3 electron domains, so it will be like this. But if I'm talking molecular geometry, understand that I will draw the oxygen atoms only here and here. There is no oxygen here. Okay, so what is the molecular geometry here?
That's a V shape.
V shape, that's a V shape. It's not triangular planar. So the molecule is V shaped, or you can call it angular. Okay, it's a V shaped or it is angular. Now the next is bond angle. So OSO bond, what is the angle here? Like what was the angle over here?
120 degrees.
120 degrees. Okay, the angle is supposed to be 120 degrees. But in this case, the angle will be slightly less than 120 degrees. It will be 117 degrees. Instead of 120, it's 170. Now, why did the angle decrease? Why did the angle decrease? Understand, in this case, in the BF3 case, all the three electron domains here and here and here, they all are bonded. They're all identical with respect to each other. So they will exert equal repulsion to each other. Equal repulsion to each other. So repulsive forces are same from all the three electron domains. So they are positioned exactly equidistant from each other. All the three electron domains in this case, here and here and here, are equidistant because they are all three are equally strong. Okay, but here, this electron domain and this electron domain are bonded, whereas this one is lone. And remember that the lone pair of electron repels more strongly than the bonded pair. Okay, lone pair of electrons will repel more strongly than bonded pair. But this guy, the lone pair over here, will repel the other two more strongly. In other words, this will push them down. So this angle will be slightly here, slightly inside, like the angle will squeeze. Okay, instead of exact 120, it will be slightly inside, like this way. So it's 117, not 120. Any questions?
No, sir.
So whenever there is a lone pair of electrons, remember that the bond angle will be slightly less than the regular, than the standard, like the when it's all same. Okay, so here the molecular geometry is V-shaped and the bond angle is 117 degree, not 120 degree. Next we talk about the case of 4 electron domains. So first, in the 4 electron domain, we will take first case of methane. So first, Lewis structure. Okay, that's Lewis structure. There are 4 electron domains around carbon. Okay, now I will not be able to show the placing of the 4 electron domains over here because it's a 3-dimensional screen. So I will directly show you the molecule. So you'll get an idea of where the electron domains are. So whenever there are 4 electron domains, the molecular geometry is tetrahedral. And electron domain geometry is also tetrahedral, but I can't draw the electron domain because I can't draw a 3-dimensional thing here. So far, the other structures are 2-dimensional, like linear and triangular planar. They're planar structure. So that means that's why I could show it on the screen here. Okay, now here I will try to show this. So there is carbon atom, and there are 4 hydrogen atoms. 4 hydrogen atoms around this carbon atom. There are 4 hydrogen atoms around this carbon atom. So see how the 4 hydrogen atoms are placed with respect to this carbon atom. So 1 hydrogen atom above the carbon atom, 1 hydrogen atom at this angle here. And remember, these 3 atoms are in the same plane. They are in the plane of this laptop screen. Like all the 3 atoms are, you can imagine that they are plugged into this laptop screen. They are on the laptop screen. Now 1 hydrogen atom, like the 3rd hydrogen atom, imagine that it is coming out of the screen. Like if you see my window, it's coming out of the screen and it's coming towards me. So I'm showing that by a wedge here. Okay, so imagine that this is coming out of the screen and towards me. For you, like when you're looking at your screen, it's coming towards you. From your screen, it's coming out of the screen and going towards you. The 4th hydrogen atom is also out of the screen, but it is going behind the screen. so that I can show like this. Okay, so this is a three-dimensional structure of a tetrahedral shape. So this atom, and this atom are in the plane of the laptop screen. This is out of the laptop screen in the air, like coming out of the laptop screen. And this is also in the air, but behind the laptop screen. Anyone has any questions? Anybody has not understood this shape? Okay, so in this case, electron domain geometry, tetrahedral. Molecular geometry, also tetrahedral. Okay, and bond angle, like every bond here is 109.5. So this angle is 109.5 degree. This angle is 109.5 degree. This angle is also same. This angle is also same. So all angles are 109.5 only. Okay, all HCH bonds are 109.5 degree. So that's about methane, which is case of 4 electron domain, 4 bonded and 0 lone. Next, we'll take the case of ammonia, Lewis structure, N and the 3 hydrogens. So here you can notice that this is also the case of 4 electron domains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But out of 4, these 3 are bonded. 1, 2, and 3 is bonded. This is not bonded. This is lone pair. So it's a case of 4 electron domain, 3 bonded, 1 lone. Now see, I will draw the molecule on this only. Instead of methane, I'll just convert that into ammonia. So for that, I will have to replace C with N. And also, only these 3 hydrogens are bonded. The 4th electron domain is not bonded. So I will have to remove this hydrogen atom. And in the place of that hydrogen atom, there is a lone pair of electron. This one. This one. Okay, now let's write down the statistics. What is the electron domain geometry here? In case of ammonia. How are the electrons placed with respect to each other? In what shape?
Tetrahedral, right?
Yeah. Electron domain geometry is the same for the 4 electron domain, whether whatever number are bonded, whatever number are lone, doesn't matter. Electron domain geometry only depends on the total number of electron domains. So if total number of electron domains are 4 electron domains, electron domain geometry will be tetrahedral. It doesn't matter how many are bonded and how many are lone out of that. So this will be tetrahedral. Now molecular geometry is not tetrahedral because there is no atom here. If there was an atom here, yeah, this is tetrahedral. But in the absence of that atom, this shape is triangular pyramidal. Okay, now how is this a pyramid? This is the pyramid. So it's a pyramid shape. but a triangular pyramid, like a pyramid with a triangular base. This is the triangular base, and this is one. So I can, it's like this. So there is nitrogen here, and the 3 hydrogens are here. That's the shape.
So CH4 would have been a square pyramid, right?
It's a tetrahedron.
Okay.
Now, what about the bond angle? How much should be the bond angle? Now we know. Yeah, because there is a lone pair here, this bond angle will squeeze to 107 degree. Okay. So that's about 4 electron domain, 3 bonded, 1 lone. The last example, water. Lewis structure first. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is a case of 4 electron domains, 2 bonded and 2 lone. So electron domain geometry will be again tetrahedral, because I said that doesn't depend on the breakup of total electron domain, how many are bonded, how many are, that doesn't matter. Electron domain geometry is tetrahedral. Now the molecular geometry. So I will make the molecule of water molecule from this only. I will have to first replace that nitrogen with oxygen. Change hai? Nitrogen with oxygen. Also, I have to remove one hydrogen. So let's say I'm removing this hydrogen because it's only H2O. Okay, so what is the shape of the molecule? H2O. How does it look?
Angular V shape.
Angular or V-shaped. What should happen to the bond angle? Should it remain 107? Now we know that there is one more lone pair. Now there are 2 lone pairs because there are one more hydrogen are replaced. So there are 2 lone pairs. So the bond angle should squeeze more. So instead of 107, it will squeeze to 105. Okay. So all 4 bonded, 109. 1 lone, 107. 2 lones, 105. Okay, so all these statistics you need to remember. It's given in the info book. And you can also remember that as a, like, just logically. Okay, any questions?
No, sir.
So we have seen 6 cases. Okay, we have taken 6 cases here. First, 2 electron domains. Okay, then uska electron domain geometry linear, molecular geometry linear, bond angle 180. Then we took 3 electron domain में 2 case. Okay, one is 3 bonded 0 lone. उसमें electron domain geometry triangular planar, molecular geometry also triangular planar, and bond angle 120. Second case में 3 electron में 1 lone. If there is 1 lone, then first of all molecular geometry is not triangular planar because there is no atom bond here. There is no atom there, so it's V-shaped and angle decreased to 117. Then 4 electron domain we took 3 cases, all 4 bonded, 0 lone, 3 bonded, 1 lone, and 2 bonded, 2 lone. Okay, so please remember these 6 cases. Okay. The details of these and the examples are there in the info book. Yeah, this table. This table over here. This has examples also. So please make sure that you learn them. Next is polarity of the molecule. Now, so remember that here we're talking about polarity of the molecule. In the last case, we had talked about polarity of the bond, like in the two bonds, A and B. If B is more electronegative than A, then B will be delta minus and this will be delta plus. So AB bond is a polar bond. That's polar bond. Now I'm talking about polar molecule. So bond polarity and molecular polarity are two different things. Here I'll talk about the entire molecule. Is the molecule polar or non-polar? So sometimes it happens that in a molecule there are polar bonds, like the bonds in the molecule are polar, but the molecule is not polar. Okay, the bonds in the molecule are polar, but the molecule is not polar. Example is carbon dioxide. Okay, now how? So if you see in the carbon dioxide molecule, carbon is delta plus and oxygen is delta minus, which means this bond is polar bond. This CO bond is polar bond. Similarly, this is also delta minus, so this CO bond is also a polar bond. So there are two polar bonds in the carbon dioxide molecule. Both the C double bond O and C double bond O are polar. But if you see the dipole moment or the vector of the two polarity, they are in the opposite direction. So this polar bond is in this direction. This polar bond ka polarity is in this direction. So because they're in the opposite direction, they will cancel out each other's effect. That's why carbon dioxide has the net dipole equal to 0. There is no net dipole because the dipoles will cancel out. Okay, so this bond happens to be polar. This bond happens to be polar, but CO2 molecule is not polar because of the dipoles get cancelled. So carbon dioxide is a non-polar molecule. Now there are more cases like this where individual bonds are polar in the molecule. All the bonds in the molecule are polar, but the molecule as a whole is non-polar. We take another example of BF3. Now BF bond is definitely very polar. This bond is definitely very polar because fluorine is very electronegative and boron is very less electronegative. So this bond is polar. So this bond is also polar. So this bond is also polar. All the three bonds are polar. But if you see the polarity, the vector is in opposite direction. Like one is in this direction, other is in this direction, and third is in this direction. So all the three will cancel out each other's dipole. So the bond polarities will cancel out here. So BF3 as a whole is a non-polar molecule. Similarly, CCl4. Each bond, CCl, 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 and CCl bond, all the four CCl bonds are polar. This is Cl is delta negative, this is delta positive. But the carbon tetrafluoride, CCl for the entire molecule as a whole is non-polar. So how do you identify this? How did you identify this? So one, I'll tell you the criteria to decide if a molecule is non-polar. Okay, so how do you decide if the molecule is non-polar? if the molecule is non-polar, if there are two things you should look for. One, central atom has no lone pair of electrons. That's one criteria. Okay, for a molecule to be non-polar, one criteria is that central atom should not have a lone pair of electrons. Like we can see here in these examples. Boron and the carbon here, they don't have any lone pair of electrons there. Okay. Also, upper carbon dioxide, the carbon does not have any lone pair of electron on it. So central atom should not have a lone pair of electron. That's first criteria. Second criteria, all surrounding atoms should be of same element. Okay, that's the second criteria. So this and this, both the criteria should be filled up. Oh, should be satisfied. Only then I can call the molecule to be non-polar. Okay, so let's again look at those examples of non-polar. Here the surrounding atoms are oxygen and oxygen. Both the surrounding atoms are of the same element. Here surrounding atom is fluorine, fluorine, fluorine. All the three surrounding atoms are of the same element. Here chlorine, 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 chlorine. All four are same element. Assume that if one of the chlorine, if I'm replacing with fluorine, yeah, now it will be polar. Now this will be polar. Okay, because the imagine that the non-polarity of the molecule will happen only when the electron clouds in the molecule are uniformly or you can just symmetrically distributed. Okay, the electron cloud is symmetrically distributed. Only then it will be non-polar. So if suppose there is fluorine here, then there will be more electron cloud over here and less electron cloud over here and here and here. So it's not a symmetrically and uniformly distributed. So this is polar. The polar dipole will be in this direction towards fluorine because that's very highly electronegative. Okay, so examples of polar we'll see now. Yeah. The CHCl3. Now in this, this bond is polar, this bond is polar, this bond is polar. So the dipole is in the direction of chlorine, chlorine and chlorine. But here it is not going up, it's not up here. So it's not the tetrahedron like how this is there. Okay, so instead of going in four opposite and symmetric direction, one is coming here. So the net dipole will be in this direction. Okay, the overall dipole will be in this direction. So hence this is a polar molecule, not a non-polar, because polarities are not getting cancelled. Polarities are not getting cancelled entirely. Yeah. Is that clear, everyone? Any questions?
sir.
Any questions? Okay, so we have learned two things today. One is the VACPR theory, which helps us to decide the shapes of the molecule. So you need to know the 6 cases and decide the shape. Second thing, we learned how to decide whether the molecule is polar or non-polar. All right. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm not starting the next topic because next topic will take time. And here, the two very important people have some very important work. Sharma and Chabra.
Spider-Man.
Okay. Sharma, I'm watching Breaking Bad again.
What, sir?
And I had watched so many years ago. I just started 2 days ago.
So that's my favorite show.
Yeah, I know. In fact, I'd
It's about a
forgotten.
chemistry
I'd
teacher.
forgotten the story, so it's really good. You know, actually he teaches the IB ka topics.
That's why he was teaching SPDF orbitals.
SPDF, the first introduction he was doing SPDF, and then he talked
Yeah.
about organic chemistry with the chiral, the isomers.
Yeah.
That you'll do in grade 12.
Oh, that's great.
The two hands non
Mirror structures.
Yeah. Isomers, optical isomers. Chalo, okay, I'll see you next week. But I think now you should solve few of the questions. I'll send you a list of the questions that you can solve so that it will be a practice. So don't wait to solve the questions for me to finish. Next week, mostly we will finish the we will require one more class. So 1.5 class we'll require to finish the topic. All right.
Yes.
Okay, chalo, bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you.